Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Salem. And tonight, on Pagans Tonight, we discussed the chakra colors. And it became a very interesting discussion that included talking about a number of different stones, about yin and yang energy, about techniques for working with chakras. So if you have a chance, you might want to look it up in the Pagans Tonight archives at blogtalkradio.com. Um, And it was interesting because I totally forgot that I was wearing my very, very, very blue suit that, as you see, I'm wearing. And I thought tonight I would take just a few minutes to discuss the energy of color and how I've worked with it at different times in my life. I got this very, very blue suit because when I ordered it from a specialty store, the photo made it look like it was a much darker and more conservative blue. Although, to be honest, I do rather like this blue. But I had not intended to buy quite this blue a suit, but I'm going to assume that maybe Spirit just intended to get it to me. But when I was much younger, I did have a suit that might be described as sky blue. I also had one that was called brownberry, but was really kind of a burgundy. And these relate kind of to my career as a psychic, because when I first started reading, I tended to wear a lot of black, and this is a very common phase people go through. It's even kind of a common series people go through. Black is very protective. It's the color of wisdom, also protection, and when you're first starting to do psychic or magical work, it can be a very beneficial color to wear because it tends to keep you grounded and it tends to keep out unwanted things. As you develop, you don't necessarily want to be quite. You want to bring in different energies, and if memory serves, I went from black to my pale blue suit, and blue, of course, is the color of communication. And as you develop psychically, that would be the next thing you'd really want to emphasize, and that's pretty much what I did, although initially kind of unconsciously. And the color blue definitely does tend to help to open the throat chakra. It tends to help with communication. It also tends to help bring through messages. So it's a very good color for doing psychic work or for doing clairvoyant work or oracular work. And then I moved into the burgundy because, of course, red is a color that helps to generate energy. And I found as I developed I needed more and more energy to do this kind of work because I was doing more and more of it. And I found that wearing that color did tend to give me more energy. And I found over the years that the color that you wear really does, in many ways, influence the energy that you are working with in a given day. Um, and in fact, in the 90s, I was at some pains to take color out of my wardrobe, partly because of fashion, but also because I really wanted to I guess I would say ground myself and stabilize myself. So I started wearing lots of black and gray. And at one point, my wardrobe was mainly black, white, and gray, which helped me to become more grounded as I wanted to be at that time. So the different colors that you wear have a very strong effect on your energy, or they can, particularly if you're working with them consciously. Robin Lochurko, who is a distinguished Chicago area psychic who was a good friend of mine at one time, and well, still is, but we haven't seen each other for a long time, but she had a very interesting habit of dyeing her hair different colors because of their different energetic effects. She kept her hair at that time very short so that she could do this easily, and sometimes she would have blonde hair one day, red hair the next day, black hair the day after. Um, in particular, every spring at that time, she would dye her hair black for grounding. And I always thought that was very interesting, and it certainly seemed to work well for her, although the last few times I had seen her, she had given up this practice. But it was very interesting. And so I would say that even things like hair color can have an effect on your energy. So color really can be a very strong energetic tool, particularly when it's intended to be. So that's my soapbox for tonight, and I will talk to you again soon, and until next time, may you blessed be.